Hello, my friends. Thank you for giving up your time to watch this short video. And the video focuses on three key words. Three key words from the Master Jesus, our brother, the Barefoot Galilean. Be my witnesses. And this invitation is not to the saintly, those who appear devout, but whose hearts are far from their God. This invitation is not to those who pretend to honor God with their lips, but their hearts are closed. And this invitation is not open to those who are caught up in a mindset of hate and fear. And most definitely not is this invitation for those who are determined to destroy the good name and character of all God's children because they dare to be different. This invitation is open only for those who are willing to come as they are, as a beautiful child of God, with their baggage, because we know that in our shadows, the Good Shepherd embraces us. And the same Good Shepherd who gave his life for his sheep on the tree of life is inviting you and I today to embrace simplicity, to embrace a simpler way of living and honoring one's truth. We are called by name, dear brothers and sisters, to follow a simpler way that encompasses the wonderful ancient teachings of the Therapeutae Essenes of Egypt, going back 8,000 years. But Jesus, the Barefoot Galilean, he had no time for hypocrisy, and he challenged the Jewish rabbis, the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees of his day, as we are having to do in the Teo community. I wished I had his energy and go and kick ass, but I know that that doesn't achieve much. But I am surrounded by beautiful men and women who have given their lives to God in the various different faith communities. But when I see them, their faces aren't alight with the glow of love. Their hearts are overburdened. They know that what they're doing is no longer meaningful, but they're afraid to leave their comfort zone. And isn't that sad? Excuse me, isn't that sad that men and women of God are trapped in an unlived life, whose soul has become overburdened by guilt, by ritual? Where is the loving? Where is the simplicity and the compassion? In the previous video I just did, which was the Rainbow Franciscans invite you to peace and compassion, that was a specific invitation to men and women who've been ostracized from their church because of their sexual orientation. And again, who are we to judge? And that's what's happening. The church and the various religious outfits that are going around, and particularly the ancient ones in Islam, Judaism and Christianity, within the Abrahamic faith, there is great miscarriages of God's justice. And it breaks my heart to see men of God sit and pontificate when in their own lives there's a double standard. But again, I suppose I'm judging, forgive me. The great Buddha Dhammapada said, hate is not overcome by hate. Hate is overcome by love. And that was the teachings of Jesus, the Barefoot Galilean. He calls us to love. He calls us to be his witness. But sadly, and I can only speak as a Catholic Christian, That negativity that's come from Peter, the school of Peter, which is a head-centered response, and everything has to be processed in the head, unlike St. John and Magdalene, who established the Johannine Essenes of Mount Carmel. Their rule of life was love. And the order I was with, we adopted the gospel of love, the rule of love, given to us from St. Augustine. But what I'm saying to you is, it's not too late to change. I'm 63, and it was 3 years ago when I was humbled to come back into my own heart. But there was so much Catholic fear and guilt. But then, through illness and weariness, I surrendered, and I've never looked back. And I live each day as if it were my last day. And I keep it simple. I can't do with the dogma. I can't do with all that nonsense. But yet in my soul, in my heart, I have a great love for my church. But my church is no love for me. Because my church rejects people like me. And all I'm trying to do is to embrace a loving Father, Mother, God, and reach out and show Franciscan hospitality and unite beliefs to come together where we hold each other's hand and we sing the praises to a loving God, the one God, and we bring in all our chants and our mantras and share our sacred writings. That's what being a witness is to a loving Father, Mother God, and Mother Earth. That's not New Age hocus pocus. That's the gospel of love that Mary Magdalene wrote, that was found at Nag Hammadi with the Dead Sea Scrolls, along with the Gospel of Thomas and other sacred writings. Come into your heart, my friends, and allow the divine speak to your heart and share with your heart that you are a witness to love, not sexual love, but a deep desire for spiritual intimacy with your God. And live that simple life from your own home. Yeah, that's what I do. This is my monastery without walls. I lock out the dramas of the world. And I've had a massive cull of friends and fair-weathered friends. They're gone. And if people ring me up that I befriended as a therapist or client years ago, and they ring up and they say, Brother Sean, do you remember me? And I say, yes, I do. Is it the same? Oh, yes, it is. I said, get a life. And they're appalled that a monk could speak to them like that. And that's how Jesus would speak to them. Think of the temple when all the sellers were there desecrating his Father's house. He kicked ass. He didn't say, use the NLP route. How are you feeling about this? Do you think we should renegotiate this? And could you not come another day to another building? No, he just let rip. And that's what we have to do. And a true witness of Christ, a true witness of God, is one who has boundaries and principles and will not allow anyone destroy that. I understand what Gandhi meant when he said, I like your Christ, but not your Christians, because your Christians are not like your Christ. And that's sad. And I know of many Christians who go to our local church who are very what I call Blue Rinse Brigade, the Miss Marples. And they're so racist, unforgiving, but yet they go to communion to receive the body of Christ. That's not me judging, that's just saying, how can this be? I think it takes a person today of real courage to be a witness for God. Because to be a witness, especially a Franciscan witness, where I do not buy into dogma, fear, control, but love. And my God isn't in a building only. My God is in nature. That's why I love Francis, because he came to his God through nature. The elements, the animal kingdom, graced him with love. And that's why in the first 12 months he had 3,000 followers. Are you willing to be God's witness?